I'm Andrew Sherman. I'm a Texas transplant who has always been in pursuit of art as a career. I've played in bands, pursued an acting career in Hollywood, but I found it behind the lens of a camera here in Dallas, Texas. I was born in New York, I've lived in Chicago, Los Angeles, Austin, but I love Dallas. There's a magical artistic scene in Dallas that mostly goes unnoticed to the outside world. This podcast is focused on what makes it so special and the people who make it thrive artistically. If you don't live here, and even if you do, you might not have heard of them. This is the Dallas Famous Podcast. So who you gonna be? Who you gonna be when you're all grown up? This week on the Dallas Famous Podcast, it's J.R. Munoz. J.R. began his journey as a musician in Deep Ellum, playing in local bands and immersing himself in the neighborhood's music scene. He then started bartending at iconic venues like Curtain Club and Trees before turning his passion into ownership. Today he owns Will Call Bar, Goodside Pizza Pub, and Everything Ellum, businesses helping keep Deep Ellum vibrant. J.R. is also a DJ on 103.7, continuing to support the local music scene. I know you're going to dig this one. Here it is. The Dallas Famous Podcast is supported by the Mullen & Mullen Music Project. The Music Project was created by Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm to champion the independent music scene in North Texas. Welcome back to the Dallas Famous Podcast. We're back at the home base, Deep Ellum Community Center. I've got J.R. Munoz with me. He's was a musician. Well, are you still a musician?
It's part-time.
Okay, he started with music, and that's kind of what led him to Deep Ellum. And, well, I'm telling his story without asking him, but, like, based on my research, you started as a musician, and then you basically bought some businesses down here, and you're still kicking it.
Barely. I wouldn't call it kicking it, but
yeah,
just crawling it.
Okay.
I started in Deep Ellum back in the early 2000s. In high school, we started going to, like, the local show every Sunday at Trees. Back then it was like 97 cents, and it was like every Sunday just had local bands, and did that. You know, as soon as my band could get in, we got in and started doing our thing. And yeah, I just been out here for, since then. So 20 something years, and, went from just playing in bands to end up bartending at Curtain Club and Trees and these places. And then, then I started looking for my own place and wanted to stay in this neighborhood, and here I am,
Right on. It's funny because, like, I immediately had this, like, wow, that would be a cool promotion now to do, like, dollar entry, but people aren't drinking enough to make it worthwhile, really, right? Like the younger.
Yeah, the younger generation just doesn't. I don't know if they're just more informed because there's all these, like, 1-minute videos of what your health can do rather than, like, the 3 years you took health class in high school.
Right. That makes sense.
Like, so that's what happens to your liver. Oh, all right. So I don't know. I think there's more knowledge out there for this younger generation. I don't think it's, it's not commercialized like it used to be. So, like, there used to always be beer and liquor commercials on all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the movies were about drinking and having a good time. So you just always wanted to party, I guess, our generation.
Sports, all of it. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I have a bad stomach, so it prevented me from being a bigger drinker, I think, which in a way was a blessing. Yeah, in a way, yeah. Well, let's go back. Like, are you from Dallas or?
Yeah, I'm always been a Texas kid. I, was born in West Texas, and I grew up most in the mid-cities area, like HEB area. I went to LD Bell High School in Hurst, and just, so I was always in the middle of Fort Worth and Dallas. So for years it was cool, because I could get to downtown Fort Worth in 15, 20 minutes. Same thing with Dallas. And so the mid-cities area is a cool area for that, to explore both places. But yeah, I just did that. My mom and dad, split when I was a kid, so we went a little bit back and forth to Chicago and stuff like that. That's where my mom's family's from, and so got a lot of tied roots in Chicago. That makes me feel like people are always like, "You're not from here, are you?"
Yeah.
And I say no. I mean, I am, but, like,
that's funny.
They'll bring up Chicago, and I'm like, that's funny you say that, because that's kind of like more my roots.
If you put a Bears hat on, I would buy that you're from Chicago. I went to school in Chicago.
I could never do it, though.
Right. Yeah, well, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, my family and us have a huge, like, Bears, Cowboys. Like, if they played each other, we all meet up in whatever town it is, and we go, and everybody's talking shit nonstop. So.
Right.
But yeah, I when the Bears almost made it this last time, I was, like, really pulling for them.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really wanted to see them do it, but whatever.
Yeah. I kind of got out of sports a while ago.
Yeah.
And, it is what it is. But so music's always around everybody, but when did it start to kind of hit you a little differently?
Music, like particularly in Dallas, or just growing up?
Just growing up, like just your personal.
Growing up, like yeah. My dad was a musician.
Oh, okay.
He played a little bit of like but mostly Tejano music. So my dad was a songwriter, and he wrote some Tejano songs for different artists, and he was always like in the studio and writing with bands around here. So I just grew up in it, and I could always sing well, or well, yeah, whatever. I could it's being conceited there or something, but I could always sing. And like when I got to high school, and like I was like too shy to do it still, and then like I'd say like junior year, senior year, I was like, all right, I'm starting the band. So I like went to like all the dudes, and I'm still friends with all these guys. I went to like all the guys that were like the best musicians, that all they played was like Metallica to a T, and they were perfect.
Right.
So I was like, oh, these guys can play the songs I want to play, And I went and grabbed all of them, like, hey, dude, I'm gonna start a band. I want you to be in it. And they were like, you can sing? I'm like, yeah. So put together this band, and we just went on from there, man, and just kept going. I never stopped. I just wanted to do it really bad. I would have loved to like be in the music business full time, but like, I'm a businessman, and out there like in the peak of a lot of our my career with my bands, like 2008, 2009 was when we toured the most, and that was when the economy was just horrible.
Yeah.
So we're like barely able to survive and eat and get a room for the night, but gas is $4 or $5 a gallon everywhere we go. It was just tough. So
yeah.
And then we would get to cities, and like people would know the songs in the crowd, and it'd be really cool. But afterwards, it'd be like, hey, $10, we're getting some gas money. We're trying to sell records. We had like a quota every night where like each guy had to sell 10 CDs outside of standing behind the merch booth. Like put them in your back pocket, walk around the bar, hang out with people, start conversating, pop one out, let them buy one. So it was kind of like a, and you somewhat got a commission sell off what you sold. It was like you sell that, you get $1 CD. So back then you're like, well, if I sell 10, I can buy a extra value meal tomorrow.
Right, yeah.
It was a little incentive for broke dudes on the road trying to do it, and everybody already had the music because they already downloaded it, and they got it for free, and they just didn't see anything wrong with that, and
sure.
And then that was one of those things where I was like, wow, we're late to the game, and by the time 2015 or so years go by, and you're like making changes, and you're trying to figure out how to like move with the time in the business, I couldn't do all the social media, camera stuff, and engagement like that. It just wasn't my style, and
it's a whole other skill set.
Yeah, I'm seeing artists now that would never, ever in their life get on a camera and be like, hey guys, I'm hanging out today with my dog, and like just showing you everything about their inside life.
Yeah.
Like the mystery of the rock star is gone.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
You used to like watch somebody on stage and be like, what is that dude what does he do when he's not here? You know what I mean? And you would never know.
Yep. And now you know too much.
Now you know it all.
Now it's like you can't really like these people half the time because of what you know about them.
And that's true.
Yeah.
It's true. There's a lot of bands that I've liked through the years, and their presence online, and not even like, I don't even care. Like if you say political stuff, like that's your thing. I think it's dumb to go public with that kind of stuff when you're in the public. But, when they do that stuff and like just selling out so bad, like that's like the real version of selling out, like not cutting your hair for a new look for a new record. Like you're just like, I've seen a friend sent me a text message yesterday of a guy that was like in his underwear, like posing, trying to be funny and cute, but he put it online, and like that guy would have never ever have done that in his music career ever. And like it was just weird, just weird little things like that just came across my head. But I couldn't do the whole social media thing music wise.
I get it. When you started these bands, and when you were in the bands, you were singing, you were writing the lyrics, helping with the music,
writing lyrics, doing a lot of arrangements together, and I just got blessed to get with some guys that had like the same vision, and we made some really good songs for a long time. The Spotify numbers over the years were like, really good. Like, and some of it was just effortless. It was just good music that we got together and had the same emotions, and everything kind of came out. There were so many songs with those bands, particularly Overseen, where we just wrote songs and 10 minutes. You know, we'd get together and drummers playing a beat. Next thing you know, everybody just, and then boom, we're playing that song 47 times that night, you know, until it's like perfect.
Nice.
So those were the good times. Now I still songwrite and still have guys send me music to write and stuff, but it's just not the same to me anymore. Like them sending me an email or a text message of a track and I have to listen to it in my truck or just like sit there, and I like to be in the room and feel the energy together,
100%. Well, that's why I don't do Zoom interviews. Same thing.
Yeah, just like writes the guitar riff, and the next thing you know, the drums are in it, everything's in it, the song's finished, and it's like, man, then you're setting up the drummer just to kind of play what you came up with.
Yeah.
Or not what you came up with, what those programs, once you lay the guitar down, the drums just come down.
Right.
To the way it's supposed to be, kind of thing. So.
I mean, it's it's a completely different way to write, and I wouldn't call it organic.
No, I like to feel that there's something about. I remember like we got together and played this past year for like South of M's reunion, and we typically when we can, even in the past, mostly in the past, but still if we can, we get together and do the drowning pool Toys for Tots at trees and stuff, and we got together again to do that, and I remember like just the guitar player turning his amp on and like just strumming distortion, just like, but that vibration that you get inside your body, you're like, and I was like, therapy and everything. I was like, oh my God, that's why I fucking came here today.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. We're ready. Let's go. Just that energy of being in the same room. I like that. I can't do this new school.
Right.
Let me send you the track back and forth. It's like, all right, cool. I got it. It's cool. Let's get together and let's hear it.
Right.
Like, the way it would be, so.
Yeah. So like the live thing was really what you were into.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was a big game changer in the music for me too, like especially in my genre of like rock music, of a lot of the rock bands that we were, engaged with or whatever, or following their steps. The whole like backing track thing, and that's just the new way to do it, and everything has to be so perfect, and I wasn't about it,
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
You'd play shows with big bands and fans would be like, man, you guys are so good. Like, keep doing it. And then you'll sound just like those guys and sound like just like the record. And you're just sitting there like, oh, yeah, cool. But really, you're like, I'm fucking listening to the record right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But whatever. I'm not a hater. I've never posted online about any bands. You never know when you're going to burn a bridge.
Oh yeah.
Do what you got to do, I guess.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
there's a lot of ones out there that are still keeping it real.
Yeah. You with Overseen, you had some cool tours, right? You did Seven Dust, Salvia, is that
Saliva.
And I'm not wearing I'm holding my glasses.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing them.
No, those were some cool tours. There was a group of guys here in Dallas that went by Never Set. They were some of my best friends in the game. Sean Hamm, the singer of that band's still one of my best friends. He is just a jack of all trades, one of the best in the game. A totally underrated Dallas guy. He's in Oklahoma City now doing tattoos when he's not on tour with Metallica. But he like set the bar for like how a lot of that stuff was supposed to be. And anyways, he got them on tour with Seven Dust, and then they wrote and recorded some songs with the drummer of the band, and I got to write one of the songs on that record with him. And
oh, cool.
We just kind of got engaged. I went on a tour with them and kind of just helped out and did like tour managing and merch stuff one weekend just to kind of like get familiar with the Seven Dust guys and network and put my business in. And working one day, and they hit me up and they're like, hey, we got an open spot on this tour. It'll be, I think it was like two months long. It was long. And it was a weird time in my life. It was about this time. And anyways, golly, this is 18 years ago right now. So
yeah,
I went when my wife and she was my girlfriend at the time, was on her 9th month being pregnant with my first daughter.
And, you left when she was 9 months?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was totally supportive, let me do it. Like, we didn't know. I'm like, well, I'm going to have this baby. I'm going to go on this tour, and I'm going to come back, and we're going to fucking just blow up. We're going to be rich as fuck. Everything's good. The dreams, the dream is here.
Yeah.
And it was a totally Dewey Cox moment. And so we, I toured, and my daughter was originally supposed to be born on May 2nd, and my wife got induced on the 28th because she planned it as we came through Texas on the tour. So
Oh, wow.
I'd like stay the night with her before we had to go to the hospital, and the next day we're at the hospital, and I'm like, I didn't know. I thought labor takes a long time. I mean, I'm a young dude. I don't know anything, And I'm thinking like, all right, we have a show in Wichita Falls tonight. We desperately need money to get the next few dates off because we had to go from when we swung through Texas, we did Wichita Falls, and then we did Lubbock, and then from Lubbock we had to drive to Nashville and start the East Coast part of the tour. And so I'm there at the hospital all day. It's like the baby hadn't came yet, so I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go do the show. I'll be back. I drive to Wichita Falls, play the show. Literally, if there was a split screen, like literally when I walked off, my daughter was born. 7:11 p.m.
Oh, wow.
And I missed it. I showed up that night, and the baby's already here, whatever, and stayed the night with her and my wife. And the next day, the band was already in Lubbock. The next day, me and my buddy bought a one-way ticket to Lubbock. Don't ever buy a one-way ticket with cash because you will get hard interrogated, and like they want to check everything to make sure you're not fleeing somewhere.
Oh, wow.
It's weird. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that. that was a crazy story itself. But no, so stay the night. Next day, spent some time in the morning with her and Presley, and cried like a baby when I left. And next thing you know, I was back on the road doing it. And like I said, I thought I was really. If I'd have known what I know now back then, I probably would have never done it. But
Sure.
I didn't know. I literally thought I was making a huge sacrifice for a career, and which I was.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, to be fair, it could have been a stepping stone, but
it did. It had its benefits.
Yeah.
It worked for a long time after that.
Right.
Streaming was high up there because we were, and then our rep here in Texas was so good from that kind of stuff. So now, like, when now the bands are coming through Texas, hey, we got, Lubbock, Houston, blah, blah, blah. You guys want to jump on? Boom, we'd jump on and go play with, whoever, and play in front of thousands of people every night, and still had that, like, rock star life still going on, still while trying to be a dad and bartend and
Wow.
take care of a family kind of thing. But it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I don't regret any of it.
And well, I mean, so that band, it just kind of ran its course, or
Yeah, I mean, I was working on like I don't know the right word for it. I was like on a revival. Like I was working on us like picking back up and putting some songs out. And at this point now, I've already been networking even more to where like I have good connections with really good guys that are selling out tours and still doing the thing in the business. So I felt like I could still do something. And my drummer had moved to Seattle, and he was the pretty much the founder of the band. He's the one that brought me in and everything. And I just felt the bond to the music. I just felt so weird, like continuing on without him,
Yeah. Get that.
I should have probably just did it and then like let him come back whenever he wanted. And just like when you're young and like that and you're coming up, you think that you have to be in a band with like all your brothers and all your best friends, and as you get older and you're doing business, you're like, nah, I could have paid some dude to take your spot for a few weeks, and then you could have figured it out.
Yep.
Instead, you'd postpone and put this life on hold every time while you had to wait for somebody else to kind of get it together. Hey, if you can't show up to work, someone else will. And,
Absolutely. No, and I used to play, and when the first few bands I had, I sang, and the other partner would play guitar, and there'd be a falling out, and I couldn't even play the songs.
Yeah.
And I finally taught myself to play guitar because I was sick of that, But,
yeah, that was tough, man. Losing members is like the hardest thing in a band, especially when you're trying to keep it like a real bond and you're not set up so business minded. And there's a great documentary that the Foo Fighters did called Back and Forth. That's kind of like that. That's pretty cool. It kind of, every band gets it because everybody's gone through a million musicians.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's very rare those guys that you get that are just like,
Oh, yeah. I mean, and it's funny because I've known bands where it's brothers, and I'm like, I wish I had a brother. We could have had a band. It's like, okay, well, that's a lot of.
That's family and business.
Yeah,
They say
yeah.
not to do it. So.
Exactly. There's like all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, I recognize that at a certain point because I lived in LA when I was doing it. So it's even worse there where it's like a month in, they're like, okay, are we signed yet? No, next band for me.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, so at what point did you start to bartend? Like, I mean, I guess making a living doing that, even with the streaming and stuff's got to be tricky.
Yeah. Because there was never a living off the streaming. It just looked good on paper.
Right.
But,
Right. Yeah.
no, so like the bartending, I actually playing music. I mean, everything comes back from music. All the thing with anything I do, I kind of relate back to it in so many ways because so many things I've learned. I was out on a small Texas run, and my friend was running. A friend of ours, which was he like managed the bands and on the hockey lockout. It was he was an NHL player, Brad Lukowicz, still a good friend of mine. He played for like the Stars when they won the cup, and he played with Tampa Bay Lightning when they won a cup, and he's been in the game for a long time. So that's how I got all my roots, and like we're all friends with. Well, he never set in Sean Hamm, and they made that connection first to where me and Sean are best friends, and Brad are like best friends. Boom, now we're all friends. And Brad did a lot of things for, that band, Never Set in particular. He did some stuff for us, introduced us to all the guys that we needed to know back then, so like he would have parties at his house and like rock stars like Nickelback would pull up their buses and, they're all the Canadian guys.
Oh, okay.
They're all, hockey, Canada.
Right,
like
right.
3 Days Grace, Nickelback. I mean, so many bands from Canada. They're all friends with Brad, and Brad's tied into the game, and he was, Anyway, so he owned a bar. Sorry, I got off track. He owned a bar in Las Colinas called Luke's. So it was Luke's Bar and Grill. Our friend ran it, and our friend went on the road with us that weekend, and we came back, and he was like, "Hey, man," he goes, "You're a really good leader." He's like, "I saw the way you took care of business this weekend. Like, you should come and work for me." He's like, I'll put you behind the bar. And he's like, "You know how to make blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Yeah, been an alcoholic for years. I can make drinks."
Right.
So, yeah, man, he gave me an opportunity. I worked at Luke's, and great time there and learned. And I mean, I'm just a hustler. So immediately, like 3 weeks into being like this young bartender that, barely knows how to make a Long Island iced tea, I'm at this nightclub hanging out that was down the street from my old house at the time. And I knew the GM, and he came up. He's like, "Hey, man," he's like, "Why don't you work in the service well here?" He's like, "I'll pay you $15 an hour plus tip out from all the girls every night." He's like, "You'll make, 100, $200 a night on tips plus, your hourly." And I was like, "Shit. All right." And he's like, "But it's crazy." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." Well, I didn't know I was going to be in this little bar where all these waitresses are coming and they're just screaming at you and tickets are just printing out nonstop. You're making drinks for like over 1,000 people.
Oh, wow.
It's insane.
Jesus.
And it taught me how to be really good though. So like,
yeah,
I went on that tour, and when I came back, it was my first night back at the club where I thought I was going to work in the service. They're like, "No, dude, we need you on the floor tonight." And I was like, "I can't do that." And they're like, "No, you can." So it was like this 2,000 person concert. And I mean, it was insane. And the guy that was training me at the time was telling me, he's like, "Oh, you're going to hate this, dude." He's like, "You're going to run out of ice tonight. You're going to run out of cups. You're going to want to quit tonight." And I was like, and sure enough, halfway through it, I'm like, "Fuck this, dude. I'm not coming back to this shit."
Right. Yeah.
And at the end of the night, I made like $700 or $800. I was like, "What time tomorrow?" "All right, I'll see you there."
Right. Yeah.
I'll be here first one.
I mean, it's funny. It's like, I think people get nervous going on stage, but I feel like it's way less stress than that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Cause like, yeah, I don't know. Bartending's wild, especially back then when like, it was just, I mean, it was not uncommon. It was more uncommon to like be a dead bar. Like I never really had an experience until I owned my own where I'm like having to sit there and like talk to people one-on-one and engage with, there's only 8 people in the bar.
Sure. Yeah.
Normally it's just like, "What do you want? What do you want?" Boom, boom, boom,
Right.
Like,
Yeah. It's a lot.
and I love that.
Different pace.
I love so yeah, I never really had that experience because I was just go, go, go all the time. Every bar I ever worked at or nightclub, it was just,
Right.
I wanted to work in a fast environment.
Huh. Okay.
Let's come in, open at 9 o'clock, be busy from 10 to 2 and get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're suited for that, I guess.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about 100 pounds ago.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, man. We had, high volume days at Will Call still. And like I bartended over there for St. Patty's Day, Saturday, whatever the parade day is where it's always busy. And like, I still get in there and get after it, but it's a lot different.
At what point were you like, I want my own spot?
Really, when Trees and like Elm Street was just blowing up again right around 2009 when Trees opened back up, and then the domino effect came to where, like, I don't know the exact order, but it was like Trees, then Black Swan, then Twilight, then Anvil was doing good at the time, like Boiler Room, and Green Room hadn't even opened up yet, and then yeah, so I was like, at that time I thought I was ready to open a business anyway, and I almost did. Like, back in the day, like I almost got the Brick and Bone space that they used for a long time. That was supposed to be my first deal. And that didn't work out, and so I kept doing what I was doing. And one day, long time. I mean, I've known Doug Simmons from Trees for decades at that point, or not quite, but long time. And he called me one day. He's like, "Hey, man," he's like, Witt's leaving and going to, work at the hospital, and he's getting out of bartending, and we want to have a familiar face here, and what can I do to get you here on Friday and Saturday nights? He's like, just come check it out and tell me what you think. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I got to go, and everything was like old, and I'm used to working like where the Cadillac's shiny, and I got there, I'm like, oh shit, it's rusted. And anyways, first night into it, like, all my friends showed up because a lot of times I didn't get to come to Deep Ellum on Fridays and Saturdays because that's when I'm making money in, other areas. And all my friends showed up, everyone like that I like, and then I was like, yeah, I should be out here, So I made good money, and I told him, here's what I need to make pretty much those nights. And it was pretty, yeah. So I just was doing that. And because at the time he was like, hey, I know you're looking for your own spot, but for right now, like, why don't you come help us out on the weekends, whatever. Did that. Took over a little bit on some things, started helping them. We went through a phase where we were revamping over there, and that's when, after a while, he's like, I know you want your own space. He's like, have you ever thought about just taking Liquid Lounge and turning it into whatever you want to do, and just remodel it, and we'll figure something out. And so Doug gave me my first opportunity, the cheapest opportunity for me to do it, for sure, because I went and I probably spent like close to $100,000 on like renovations over there, and just kind of made it into a new spot, which I never thought I could because it was such a shithole before.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you can just tear that down and put tile there. Like, all right, cool, let's do that. So yeah, man, he gave me the opportunity. We opened up, and then that building was selling, and the Curtain Club guys couldn't turn it down, and everything happens for reasons. Probably a good thing that they took the deal, because COVID would have killed it anyway. There's no way that place would have been able to survive.
Yeah.
Same with Will Call being in the front of it, like we didn't have a kitchen there or anything like that, so I don't even remember what all those rules are. That 6 years ago feels like a lifetime with the COVID thing. But,
yeah.
So we got out of Curtain Club July of 2019.
Okay. Oh yeah, because that closed down too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when that building sold, we stayed in there. They told us in February. They were like, hey, we're going to buy the building, blah, blah, blah. They took the deal. So I knew we were going to have to, I didn't know we were going to have to get out. At first they were asking me like, hey, do you want to stay and like add on to your building? And, and then they changed their mind on me towards the last minute. But I'd already been working on stuff. Like, I'd already had guys in the neighborhood that were like, oh, just move Will Call over here, we'll change the name. And I was like, all right. So I knew we weren't going nowhere.
Right.
But I just wanted to, like, if I'm going to move locations, I'm going to go to that place right there. I've always stared at that building. I've always wanted it. I knew that the guys there at the moment were struggling a little bit, and I gave them a sweetheart deal they couldn't refuse to
right.
get out, basically, and
right.
let us move Will Call over there. I mean, of course they offered. It wasn't like I bullied him out of space or anything, but like, they were like, we can partner up and we'll do Will Call. And I was like, how much to get you guys out? And they were like, so I was like, so that's what we did. And yeah, we already had like the coolest bar in the neighborhood as far as industry goes, where like all the musicians and the stagehands and the bartenders are all hanging out at every night.
Sure.
So we're like, all right, if we're gonna move and we're gonna have a kitchen, we already have the coolest bar. Now we gotta have like the coolest food, you know. So I went and paired up with a good friend of mine, my buddy Mark Torres. He used to own the Blue Light down here in the neighborhood, and he had this amazing chef named Josh Farrell cooking with him. And Josh came in, made this extremely cool, you know, menu with me. I knew I'd been in the neighborhood long enough. I'm like, no one's got cheesesteaks and no one's got wings. Like, let's do that. And he was like, I'm not making wings. I'm like, whatever, dude. And he 6 months later starts wearing a gold chicken wing around his neck. You know? So he turned it into the Wing King. But no, he was with us for a few years. We had him contracted, and then he trained like Jose Gallegos, my current chef, and Kurt and those guys. Like, he trained everybody up so well to where like the food's just been elevated, you know, through the years. And that's what we did. We moved over and got a bigger space, more risk, and put myself in debt, and have almost closed down 8 times that nobody knows about. I just made that number up, but it's probably been about that. It's been tough.
Jeez, yeah. No, I mean, whole other conversation, but just like the city versus Deep Ellum and business and the construction, and it's just ridiculous.
There's so much that goes into it, but it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
You have more than one spot though, right? You've got the pizza place.
Got the pizza place. Me and a couple guys, Chris Llewellyn and Corey Good. We have the Everything Ellum together.
Right.
So that started off to where I was wanting to put like a little knick-knack shop in Deep Ellum, because Pecan Lodge always had like this tourist line, and people are standing there for an hour. You know, it's like, man, we need a store over here like Austin has in 6th Street, where like you go in and buy a, you know, Texas shot glass.
Sure.
And, you know.
Or like every other store on Hollywood Boulevard, or at least when I lived there.
Yeah, I love LA and all those shirts. So like
Oscars.
That was kind of like the little vision a little bit, and then the more we got into it, it was like, there's so many great artists out here. Let's do this. And I told the guys at the time that we were doing the store together, I was like, man, I can't do this store until I talk to Chris Llewellyn first. I'm like, let me holler at him and see what's up. And I hollered at him, and it was like perfect. He had this whole vision, and was just kind of like, if you guys want, I'll do this. You guys step aside and I'll make this work.
Huh.
So yeah, he runs that place. You know, him and Rose run that place really good, and it's not, you know, we don't make money on it. But the staff and the bills are paid, and
right.
The landlord works with us because he knows it's for the neighborhood, and so he's not, you know, trying to give up that space for a nightclub. He's a neighborhood guy. He wants good concepts in the neighborhood. That one, the name itself, Everything Ellum, I mean, it's for the neighborhood kind of thing. So
yeah, that's cool.
We just do that, you know, just to have something cool for the neighborhood. And the Good Side Pizza Pub, which is, you know, a newish venture for me down here. I had that vision for a long time pre-COVID, and then COVID kind of just messed it up. We thought a bunch of the Uber people were moving across the street, and it just kind of, everything got set back. And I came across a group of guys that have a group called Blender Brands. They own some bars here in Deep Ellum. That's how we became friends, and they had a bigger vision of, you know, doing greater concepts and you know, really their vision's nationwide kind of thing. So they did the pizza place with me, and then we were working on something at the same time, kind of, it just came into fruition. It was a deal in Plano at a brand new area called Assembly Park. We're kind of like we're the first tenants there, other than the office tenants and stuff. It's a whole little area in Plano. And so we opened, it was a big building. We knew that, you know, we got creative with it. We came up with 3 concepts, split that building in 3 basically. So we have a coffee shop called Cliff Coffee, and then in the middle we have a place called Tacoro, which is a tequila and taco lounge, real beautiful date atmosphere spot. And then the big place with a big patio, we have Assembly Ice House.
Oh, okay.
Kind of sports bar, you know, bringing in some music and just slowly kind of figuring it out over there. We've been there for like 4 or 5 months now. So
nice. And it's going well?
Yeah, pretty good. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into the burbs and a lot of Karens to take care of, but it's getting there. It's getting there. It's cool. You know, even though I'm a Deep Ellum guy, like I live 7 minutes from this place in Plano. It's easy to get back and forth compared to like when I got to get here for some reason.
Yeah.
Even though it should only take me 20 minutes, it, takes
Oh, trust me.
hour and 20 minutes.
I
And some of
know.
the 75 is just crazy.
I know. I mean, like every time I'm coming down to the city, it's first show. So it's like rush hour and there's other people going to the show. And it's just like, I end up going places early just so I don't have to stress about it.
Yeah.
So on top of all this other stuff, are you still on Alt 103.7?
Yeah.
Okay.
That just started up not too long ago. We've been talking about it forever. The guys, Scott Long, that works for 103.7 Odyssey and all the stations, he's been a Deep Ellum guy forever. Was in the record business for a long time. Met him with the Brad Lukowich story earlier, and all of our gang from Luke's and all. So we met years ago in Deep Ellum scene, and so he's got a love for Deep Ellum. And then Ian Camfield, which is kind of like the main DJ over there, is from the UK, and he's just crushing it on the airwaves here. They have I want to say that station's like #1 station in DFW or #2 or something like that. So he lives in Deep Ellum, so he just loved it right away. Scott brought him to me right away, introduced him, and then just kind of like this, like they love the they love the neighborhood so much, and there used to be so many local shows. Like I said at the very beginning of the show, like I started coming here because of the local show.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually we'd like to set something up like that to where we do a showcase every week or every month or whatever. We're working on some big ones, to where we can charge $10.37 to get in, and see, 4 or 5 bands or whatever. So, anyway, so they have this vision. They're like, man, we really want to push a local show, and we really want Deep Ellum to be a big part of it. We want to push the venues, and we want to, push shows and get them out there again. And, so I talk about Denton and Fort Worth and all that, but like the show, it all got created because like, let's bring this Deep Ellum thing back. Like, let's show people that, because now we just wait for tourists out here because of what the media does. So we wait for football fans and basketball fans. We wait for that stuff to come to town. World Cup coming up. We're looking forward to that, whatever.
Yeah.
But every weekend back in the day was like local tourists. Bob that works with Sean at State Farm is going to come see him playing his punk band Saturday night at Curtain Club, and his cousin Maria from Arlington's coming with her husband and his cousin, and next thing you know, this is how you have all these people in one place, and they go to Angry Dog, and they go to, Uncle Uber's and all that stuff at the time to eat before they go, and
right.
there were staples. You came out, you ate somewhere, you went. Local music was a big thing for the neighborhood just because like how many people it brought. And, like I said, they have a set trip. They come eat, they go to the show, they might go eat breakfast after the show, depending on how late they stay. Like you're in the neighborhood all night.
Right.
So that's just kind of I mean, where were we at?
It's fine. We need to bring that back. I mean, that's cool that there's people out there that have a platform that want that. Because, when I moved here, it was 2015, 2016, and there was kind of like a renaissance. It's probably the second or third wave, I'm guessing. But, every time I went out, it'd be like 3 or 4 great bands, and it'd be packed, and it would be the same people. And, it's like it's sort of waned a little bit, I feel like. When is your show on?
Oh, well, that's what we're talking about. So they just wanted to gear that show mainly towards Deep Ellum and like start just getting a push again. So every Sunday night, 8:00 on 103.7, and it's like, playing a lot of the new bands, getting them some exposure, which a lot of the new bands just don't really care about radio that much. Like, oh, cool, dude.
Yeah.
Have you seen my TikTok?
I still know some people.
But
it's fun.
There's definitely people who listen to it because I get hit up all the time. Like, dude, I didn't know you were on the radio. Like, blah, blah, blah. And then the station promotes it all day long. I mean, you get in your car right now and drive from here to Plano, you're going to hear it 2 or 3 times, like Sunday nights, J.R. Munoz. Like, I mean, it's just all the time. So,
how does a band get their music to you?
Everyone just kind of like messages me direct and, hey, man, check out my band. I mean, I know a lot of them because I'm just in the scene already and whatever. Sure. So, kind of like bringing back a lot of the, like, everything kind of resurges every 20 years.
Yeah.
So a lot of these rock bands that I'm playing are, bands that were awesome 20 years ago, but I'm going back into it. It's like, dude, a lot of this stuff was like timeless. Like it's still cool, like you you can go back to it and it's still cool, I guess.
And there's a bunch of those bands that are still playing. They're making like a comeback resurgence.
Right.
It sort of blows my mind. It's cool because I didn't grow up here, and I've gotten to photograph some of those bands that I never thought I'd get a shot. You know,
Yeah.
I just got to shoot old 97s at Sons of Herman Hall playing their first record, which it was like
I heard that
time warp.
I heard that was incredible.
It was amazing, and
Nice.
just for me personally, I love that band. To see those songs in that venue, I just never thought I'd get to. You know,
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
So it's cool that you're bringing it back.
Trying to. There's some of the bands that we play, and I like, I would say something on the show like, "Please get back together. Let's put it in the universe."
Yeah, I feel like every band I've worked intimately with has broken up, so I've kind of kept my distance from my favorite bands at this point.
Yeah.
What is next on your agenda in life?
Man, I just take it day by day. But my daughter's about to graduate high school next month.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I got a son that's gonna be 13, and my wife is just great and awesome, and we got a good thing going. The future is just the way this business is and this economy is. I wish I had a better answer for what it is next, but I mean, keep growing. We're probably gonna open some more concepts, and hope that those sell along the way someday or whatever. And that's all I really know. I didn't go to college to get no degree and go sign up for a corporate job somewhere. So this is just what I know.
Right.
It's either this or sell drugs. No, I'm kidding.
Which is also going out of fashion, apparently.
Yeah, now you can go to a store and get it. What kind of shit
exactly.
Is that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm glad that you have this passion for this neighborhood, because it's a great neighborhood, and it takes people like you with that vision and that fortitude to keep it going through all the bad times and the trying times. So
yeah, not to be biased, but I think it's literally like, I mean, obviously there's cool neighborhoods in LA and San Fran and Chicago and everything, but like Deep Ellum is like, it's got to be in the top 3 in the nation.
Oh, yeah.
Best. Like, I mean, I've been around a lot of places, and it's just everything about it, from food to shopping to the, the tattoo parlors out here. I mean, back in the day when I was first coming, it was all just a little bit of food, a lot of tattoos, a lot of rock and roll.
Right.
Like, it was just everywhere.
Yeah.
Every club you went to was like packed with great bands.
I want that again.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. Well,
but COVID ruined it. Like, they ruined everything else. COVID happened, and then it gave you time to be like, damn, dude, I'm old. I don't need to be getting my fat ass on stage anymore. And so many bands broke up during COVID.
Yeah. And it feels like a lot of I'm encouraged because I've got my finger on the pulse, and there is a lot of good young bands.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of DJs, a lot of rappers, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm like you, rock and roll. That's where I come from. So I like to see it live on, however it can.
Well, I love the hip hop scene too. Like, I host Collab every third Thursday.
Oh yeah, right.
Will call. Like, I mean, there's a great hip hop scene from here. I've been a fan of the Cure for Paranoia guys for, almost 15 years probably that we first met. I met those guys through Paco Estrada. Paco's one of my best friends. We're hanging out one night, and he lived with all those dudes, and they were in a project called Space Camp. So like, I've been like, I've known about Cameron McLeod and these guys for years, and to see it all kind of happen right now is really special. And so I mean, it's not just about rock and roll for me. I mean, I book a lot of country guys that will call. Like, I mean, I like every kind of music. You get in my car, you're gonna listen to like mariachi stuff to hip hop stuff. I listen to everything.
Nice.
So I want to see every genre do it. Just do it well.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another great thing about this city is we do have all those different scenes. I feel like every genre is represented here pretty much.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I mean, is there last question, is there a chance that you would get back into a kind of regular band, or maybe do a house band at Will Call or something like that?
I have been like joking around with a couple of like friends that are like really good musicians about doing like a throwback country cover band to make some side money on.
There you go.
There's only a few of them doing it, and they make good money.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I've tried to book them, and they're just kind of impossible to book. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll just put together my own.
Yeah, seriously. Like I know Legacy Hall will book you right
I don't
away.
know. Otherwise, I mean, I'll get together with the Stairview guys whenever they want to, or a busy man makes time for everything, and men, it's tough for men to go to like therapy and do the mental health thing, and that's the biggest problem for men, especially Hispanic males like me. It's not something so music is it. So anytime these guys call me up and they're like, hey, I know you're busy, but like, I'm like, let's go. Let me know what day, bro.
Yeah.
I need that therapy session.
Right,
like, literally,
right.
I just text the guys text me the other day, like, when y'all want to jam again? And I was like, I need some therapy whenever y'all want, because it's there. I love it.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be there at some point. So.
Well, good. Awesome. JR, thank you so much for
Thanks
taking
for
the
having
time.
me. It's been good.
Check out Will Call Bar. Check out Everything Ellum.
Yeah.
Check out, what is it, Good Side Pizza?
Yeah, Good Side Pizza Pub.
Yeah. So did I miss any?
Oh, just the Plano things, but this is about
yeah.
This is about Dallas.
This is Dallas, right? Okay. Yeah, so check it out, and we'll keep an eye out for your showcases that you're going to be putting together and everything else.
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you.
I'd like to thank JR. You can support him by going to one of his restaurants. Links in the show notes. Thank you to the Deep Ellum Community Center for letting us record here. Theme song Unstoppable by Celine Narala, and the outro is The Place to Be by Electric Ants. Thanks again to the Mullen & Mullen Music Project for their support. Like, subscribe, and share the podcast, and we'll see you next week.